If you let a woman control you, you will lose her. It's that simple. Not because women are bad, not because they're trying to hurt you, but because deep down, no woman is attracted to a man she can dominate. Control is not love. It's not affection, it's not connection, it's power. And the moment you hand over your power, you lose the very thing that makes her want you in the first place, your masculinity. A lot of men today are walking on eggshells in relationships, saying yes to everything, apologizing for being men, letting women make all the decisions, and they wonder why she's pulling away, losing interest, or disrespecting them. Here's the truth. When you put a woman in the driver's seat, she might take the wheel, but she will never feel safe. She will never feel turned on, and she will eventually start looking for a man who makes her feel protected, led, and desired. You were never meant to be controlled. You were built to lead. You were built to set the tone. You were built to walk with confidence, speak with clarity, and make your presence known. That doesn't mean being loud or aggressive. It means standing your ground, knowing your worth, and never begging for approval. She needs you more than you need her, but only if you remember who you are. When a man takes back control of his mind, his emotions, and his direction, everything changes. She follows. She respects. She desires. Not because you forced it, but because you gave her something real to follow. Let's break this down. 7 cold, clear reasons why you should never allow a woman to control you, and what happens when you step back into your masculine power. Before we start the video, I want to remind you that my exclusive online course on mastering the dating game is available now. If you've been learning from my YouTube videos, you're only scratching the surface. This course goes deeper, teaching you everything you need to know about the dating game, from approaching a woman to building real attraction. We just completed section 4 in the course, and these insights aren't shared anywhere else. It's easy to access with multiple secure payment options. There are only 5 discounted slots remaining using the promo code. Visit stoicapproachtolife.podia.com or check the link in the description to enroll now before the offer is gone. 1. She respects what she can't control. A woman cannot truly respect a man she can control. That's a hard truth most men ignore until it's too late. The moment she feels she has you wrapped around her finger, she stops seeing you as the strong man she once desired. What used to excite her now bores her. What used to pull her in now pushes her away. Why? Because control kills respect, and without respect there is no attraction. In modern dating, a lot of women are testing men without even realizing it. They want to see what kind of man you are. Are you easily swayed? Do you fold under pressure? Will you sacrifice your identity just to keep her happy? These aren't evil intentions, they're natural instincts. Women test strength the same way men test loyalty. She wants to feel secure with you, and she can't feel that if she's the one calling all the shots. Respect is built when you stand firm in who you are, when you don't flinch just because she raises her voice, when you don't change your mind just because she gets emotional, when you're calm, steady, and unmoved. That's when she starts looking at you differently. That's when she realizes you're not like the rest. You're not weak, you're not needy, you're not under her thumb. It doesn't mean you become cold or controlling. It means you keep your backbone. You stay grounded no matter what she throws at you. You listen without bending. You care without chasing. You lead without needing her permission. That's power. That's what she respects. And here's the secret. When a woman respects you, she listens to you. She follows your lead. She looks at you with admiration, not frustration. Most men lose this by trying to please her too much. They think if they agree with her, buy her things, flatter her constantly, or give her everything she wants, she'll love them more. But it works in reverse. The more you hand her control, the more she pulls back emotionally. Because deep down, she knows she's not supposed to be leading. She's not built to carry that weight. She wants a man who makes her feel feminine, and that only happens when he's fully masculine. So don't be the man she can move around like a chess piece. Be the man who moves with purpose. Be the man she can't predict, can't pressure, and can't manipulate. That's the man who earns her loyalty. That's the man she brags about to her friends. That's the man she fights to keep. Let her feel your presence, not your submission. She will only respect what she cannot control. 2. Control kills desire. The more control a woman has over you, the less she desires you. That's not a guess. It's a pattern. Time and time again, men hand over the reins in their relationships thinking it will create peace, love, or closeness. But what they get instead is a woman who slowly loses interest. Because where there is no challenge, there is no attraction. Where there is no leadership, there is no chemistry. Control kills desire. A woman doesn't fantasize about the man who asks her what to do at every turn. She doesn't dream about the guy who needs constant validation. She doesn't crave the one she can predict, push, or manipulate. She's drawn to strength. She's turned on by stability. She's excited by the man who leads with clarity, not confusion. When she starts controlling the direction of the relationship, she begins to feel more like a parent than a partner. She has to make the decisions, set the tone, guide the emotional energy, and lead every step of the way. That burden weighs her down. That pressure burns her out. And when she's tired of playing the role of the man, she starts to resent the one who was supposed to be it. Desire thrives in polarity. Masculine and feminine energy are not just terms. They are forces. When a man is grounded in his masculine, he creates space for the woman to soften into her feminine. That's where the real connection happens. That's where desire lives. But the second the roles flip, when she's leading and you're following, the desire fades. Not immediately, but slowly, like a fire with no fuel. You can feel it when it happens. Her energy shifts. She starts becoming distant. She criticizes more. She stops touching you like she used to. You think you're doing everything right. You're being agreeable, supportive, giving her what she wants. But she's pulling away anyway. That's because you've given up your place in the dynamic. You've given her control, and now the polarity is gone. It's not about being dominant or forceful. It's about being immovable in your presence. It's about having a vision for your life and not asking for permission to live it. It's about knowing who you are, what you want, and where you're going, and letting her choose whether to join you or not. The most attractive men don't chase. They attract. They don't seek approval. They give direction. They don't lose themselves in love. They hold the frame and let the woman move inside it. A woman will follow a man she desires. She will resist a man she controls. If you want to keep her wanting you, stop giving her the power to direct the relationship. Stop letting her make the rules. Start leading with confidence, even if she resists it at first. She may fight your strength, but she will never forget it. And deep down, it's the very thing that keeps her wanting more. 3. You're the prize. Act like it. Somewhere along the way, men forgot they were the prize. They started acting like they had to win a woman's approval just to be worth something. They put her on a pedestal, thinking if they did enough, gave enough, and bent far enough, she would finally love them the way they hoped. But here's the truth. When you treat a woman like a prize, she starts treating you like a contestant. You become one of many, disposable, replaceable, forgotten. You are the prize. You're the provider of stability, direction, protection, and purpose. But if you don't believe you are the prize, no woman will either. And when she senses that you value her more than yourself, she will lose interest faster than you can recover. A woman doesn't want to feel like your entire identity is wrapped up in her. She doesn't want the pressure of being your everything. She wants to earn your attention, not be handed it just because she's pretty. You teach her how to treat you by the way you treat yourself. If you chase constantly, blow up her phone, beg for her time, cancel your plans just to please her, or change your opinions to match hers, you're showing her that she holds all the value. And when a woman feels she has more value than the man she's with, she doesn't feel lucky. She feels bored. Acting like the prize doesn't mean being arrogant. It means being solid. It means having standards. It means being willing to walk away from any situation that disrespects your worth. That energy is rare in today's dating world. Most men are too scared to walk away, even when they're being mistreated. They'd rather suffer silently just to avoid losing her. But here's the twist. When you're willing to lose her, that's often when she clings to you the most. Why? Because walking away with confidence is power. It says, I'm not desperate, I have options, I know what I bring to the table. That shakes her. That reminds her that you're not one of these weak men who puts women above himself. You're not addicted to her presence. You're not impressed by attention. You move like a man who's already full, with or without her. A woman will invest in you when she sees you value yourself more than you value her opinion. That's when she starts chasing. That's when she wants to prove herself to you. But you only unlock that dynamic by flipping the frame. Instead of trying to win her, you make her qualify to you. You become the interviewer, not the applicant. That's the mindset that keeps her intrigued. That's the energy that keeps her guessing. That's the posture that keeps her chasing. Never forget who you are. You are the man, the center, the foundation. And when you act like the prize, not with arrogance but with assurance, you stop competing for women and start attracting them effortlessly. 4. Too much access kills mystery. A woman cannot crave what she constantly has. The more available you are, the more predictable you become. And the more predictable you become, the less mystery you hold. That mystery is your silent advantage. It's what keeps her thinking about you, wondering what you're up to, and questioning how much of you she really has. But when you're always there, texting nonstop, calling constantly, showing up at every chance, you remove the very tension that keeps her emotionally hooked. Too much access kills the mystery, and once the mystery is gone, so is the excitement. The modern man is losing his edge because he thinks presence equals value. But presence without purpose is just noise. You don't need to be around all the time to be valuable. You need to be missed. You need to be felt, not just seen. When she starts to expect your messages every hour or your presence every day, she stops feeling the thrill. She stops wondering about you, and that wondering is what keeps her attracted. A woman falls harder for the man she can't fully figure out, not the one who hands her his soul by the second week. You have to master the art of being slightly out of reach, not distant, not unavailable, just unavailable enough to keep her curious. Be the man who has things going on, who's not always by his phone, who doesn't drop his entire day just to respond within seconds. When she sees that your life is full, with your mission, your goals, your routine, she'll realize she's not your world, and that realization makes her want to be part of it even more. Men who overexpose themselves burn out quickly. You think you're building connection by being everywhere all the time, but you're actually draining her interest. She already knows what you're doing, what you're thinking, how you're feeling. There's nothing left to discover. But when you're a little mysterious, when you're not always explaining yourself, when you don't always answer questions directly, she starts thinking about you when you're not there. She replays your words. She rereads your texts. She wonders what's on your mind. That's emotional pull. That's where real attraction grows. A man who gives too much access too soon comes off as desperate. It feels like he's trying to force closeness instead of letting it naturally build. A man who knows his value doesn't need to overshare or over-explain. He knows the power of silence. He knows the impact of space. And most importantly, he knows how to create tension without being cold. Keep her guessing a little. Don't post everything. Don't always reply immediately. Don't always initiate. Let her reach out. Let her wonder where she stands. Because in that uncertainty, she becomes more invested. She starts trying harder. She starts chasing. Mystery isn't manipulation, it's masculine. And it's something most men have forgotten how to use. Reclaim it. 5. Neediness is repellent. Neediness is one of the quickest ways to turn a woman off. It doesn't matter how good you look, how much money you have, or how smooth you talk. If you give off needy energy, she will start to pull away. Women don't run from men who care. They run from men who need them to feel okay. That emotional dependence is heavy. It drains her. It makes her feel like she has to carry your entire identity on her back. And no woman wants that kind of burden. When you act needy, you're saying, you are more valuable than me. You're telling her that your confidence, your peace of mind, and your happiness all depend on how she feels about you today. That's weakness. And no matter how much society wants to sugarcoat it, weakness in a man repels women. Not because they're heartless, but because they're wired to follow strength. They need to feel like you've got yourself handled, with or without them. Neediness shows up in subtle ways. It's in the way you constantly ask if she's okay. It's in the way you overtext when she doesn't respond right away. It's in the way you panic when she takes space. It's in the way you seek constant reassurance, approval, and validation. That energy might feel romantic to you, but to her it's pressure. It's insecurity disguised as love. Real confidence is quiet, it's calm. It doesn't chase, it doesn't beg. It simply is. When you're grounded in who you are, you don't need to cling to anyone to feel complete. And ironically, that's what draws people to you. A man who doesn't need attention tends to get the most of it. A man who doesn't need a woman tends to have women wanting him more. That's not a game. That's energy. When she feels like she's your only source of joy, she starts to feel smothered. It makes her question your emotional strength. She wonders, if I pulled back, would this man completely fall apart? And the moment a woman questions your emotional stability, the attraction starts to die. Not because she's cruel, but because something inside her stops trusting your ability to lead. And that loss of trust always turns into a loss of desire. A man must learn to stand on his own emotionally. You need to be able to enjoy your life, your goals, your space, and your time, without needing someone beside you to validate it. That's what separates boys from men. Boys cling, men lead. Boys panic when they're not getting constant attention. Men remain centered, regardless. If you want a woman to respect and desire you, stop coming across like you need her to function. Need nothing. Appreciate everything. That's how you hold power. That's how you remain attractive. And that's how you stop being an emotional liability and start becoming a man she genuinely wants to chase. 6. Standards over emotions. A man without standards is a man without backbone. And when a woman sees you bending every time emotions get high, she stops respecting you. You cannot lead a relationship with your feelings. You lead it with your principles. That's the foundation of masculine strength, standing on your standards, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it risks conflict, even when it might cost you her attention. Because if you fold every time she cries, complains, or threatens to leave, you're not leading, you're following. And eventually, she'll walk right past you. Your standards are your boundaries. They are the rules you live by. They decide what you allow, what you tolerate, and what you walk away from. If you have none, she will test you. Not because she's evil, but because women naturally want to see how strong the man they're with really is. They push to see if you'll push back. They cross the line to see if you'll hold it. And when you don't, something in her changes. She doesn't feel safe. She doesn't feel led. She doesn't feel that masculine energy that gives her permission to relax into her feminine. A woman might argue with your standards in the moment, but deep down she respects them. When you tell her, I don't accept disrespect, or I won't compete for your attention, or if you raise your voice, I will remove myself from the conversation. She may not like it, but she will know what kind of man she's dealing with. A man who doesn't tolerate nonsense, a man who values his peace, a man who won't lose himself to keep her. That kind of man is rare. Most men are emotional slaves to women they're afraid of losing. They confuse love with tolerance. They think the more they endure, the more loyal they look. But loyalty to dysfunction isn't strength, it's self-betrayal. You can love a woman and still walk away from behavior that violates your standards. In fact, that might be the highest form of love, because it's not based on feelings alone. It's rooted in truth. If she sees that you are willing to lose her before you lose yourself, she will treat you differently. She won't play games. She won't push too far. She won't think she can manipulate you with tears or silence. She'll know you're serious. And when a woman knows a man is serious about his standards, she becomes serious about how she shows up around him. Never let your emotions talk you into staying in situations that drain your spirit. You must master your emotions, or your emotions will master you. Keep your center. Keep your peace. And always choose your standards over the fleeting feelings of the moment. Because at the end of the day, She might not say it out loud, but she craves a man who can tell her no when it needs to be said and mean it. 7. She needs your strength, not your tears. A woman may tell you she wants a man who opens up, who cries, who shares everything emotionally. But what she truly needs is your strength, not your breakdowns, not your emotional dependency. She needs to feel your stability when her world is shaky. She needs to lean on your chest, not carry your weight. In a relationship, a man's strength isn't in how much he cries, it's in how well he holds his ground when everything around him is falling apart. This doesn't mean you're not allowed to feel. It means you must know when, where, and how to express emotion without falling apart. A man's emotional control is not suppression, it's discipline. It's knowing the difference between healthy vulnerability and emotional dumping. It's understanding that your woman is not your therapist. She's not built to be your emotional home. She's built to respect your leadership. And leadership doesn't mean being cold, it means being composed. It means being the rock she can hold on to, not the wave that crashes under pressure. When a man breaks too often, cries too freely, or collapses every time life hits, the dynamic shifts. She starts seeing you less like a partner and more like a project. You become something to fix, not something to admire. And over time, her attraction weakens, not because she's cruel, but because she needs to feel your masculine energy more than she needs to hear your pain. That strength doesn't mean you fake happiness, it means you carry your challenges with calmness, not chaos. If you do cry, let it be rare, let it be real, let it be tied to something deep. Not because she's ignoring your texts, or because she said something that bruised your ego. When it comes from real pain expressed with masculine control, she won't look at you as weak. But if you're emotional over every argument, constantly seeking comfort, constantly venting, you drain the very presence she's supposed to respect. Your strength is your stability. And stability is what anchors a woman emotionally. When she's unsure, she wants you to be sure. When she's emotional, she wants you to be logical. When she's chaotic, she wants to feel your calm. That's polarity, that's attraction, that's the power dynamic most men have forgotten. Don't follow the modern lie that says emotional outbursts make you more lovable, they make you more unstable. Learn to regulate your emotions, process them, master them. Share, yes, but from a place of control. When she sees that your emotions don't control you, she starts to trust you more. And that trust is what makes her soften. That trust is what makes her submit. That trust is what makes her feel like she's finally safe. She doesn't want your constant tears. She wants your consistent strength. Give her that, and you'll give her what no other man can. When you let a woman control you, you give away the very thing she's attracted to, your power. She doesn't want a man who follows her emotions. She wants a man who leads with strength, calm, and conviction. When you stop chasing, stop needing, and start standing firm, everything shifts. She sees you differently, she treats you differently, and most importantly, you start to respect yourself more. Remember, she needs your leadership, not your obedience, your presence, not your permission. Be the man who knows his worth, and never hands over control to keep someone who should be following your lead. If you're serious about mastering the dating game, don't miss out on my exclusive online course. We go beyond what's covered in these videos, giving you powerful insights from the first approach to lasting attraction. Only 5 discounted slots remain, and it's easy to enroll with secure payment options. Visit stoicapproachtolife.podia.com or simply click the link in the description to secure your spot. Don't wait until it's too late. Take action now and start transforming your dating life today.